Tough conversations and how you deal with them or don't deal with them impacts you, your leadership, and your professional brand, how others perceive you at work. So, let me help you get more confidence during these conversations and stop you from second guessing yourself when you walk away afterwards. How does that sound? I've got a question for you though. Let's start with that. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I say tough conversations, difficult conversations, conflict, challenging interactions, or speaking up? What comes to mind for you straight away? When I talk about this in my leadership training, there's always a variation responses. I hear everything from I prefer to avoid them completely, it makes me feel sick, gives me more of a reason to be able to give myself a hard time. It's awkward and uncomfortable for everybody. And one that I heard recently, I feel like a school kid again instead of an executive that leads hundreds of people every single day. Does this sound familiar to you, resonating? Or also, not as commonly, but some people respond by saying that these conversations are not a big deal for them. I mean, wouldn't that be nice? What about we get towards that a bit closer for you today? And look, it's not only leading these conversations that feels awkward, there's also a strong and varied response to the people on the receiving end of these conversations as well. Generally, for everybody involved, these situations are confronting, scary, and largely uncomfortable. So take a moment to recognize that for both parties or all parties involved, these conversations are feeling pretty uncomfortable from the outset. And recognizing that allows you to realize that probably your old approaches weren't exactly setting you up for success, were they? So let me help you with some key strategy today around leading these tough conversations at work with confidence. And I'm going to be completely honest, like I always am with you. I'm not saying that this will magically make these conversations simple, easy, or necessarily fun for most people, but when you have an approach that's practical and accessible for you, it becomes something that you can actually implement rather than just another unticked item on your to-do list. That gives you more of an excuse to give yourself a hard time at the end of the week. There's enough with that, okay? The number one strategy for leading tough conversations with confidence at work is to refocus your mindset. Refocusing your mindset is often overlooked, and it will have the biggest impact on your conversation's outcomes and how you walk away feeling afterwards. Ask yourself, who do I need to be when approaching these conversations? I mean, what internal qualities or inner strengths can you bring to the table that will assist you to step towards the outcome to benefit you, the others involved, and the organization? I recommend that you come up with 3 strategies for yourself or qualities for yourself to support you. Bringing these strengths into your mind, well, it may sound kind of simple, but refocusing your mindset in this way will help you in the planning, the approach, and the facilitation of having more confident conversations. I know the last time I did this or had this conversation, my 3 were courage, empathy, and directness. And these really helped me focus on the conversation in a way where I needed to move closer to a more helpful outcome in that situation. Now, look, I don't even know if directness is a word, but it doesn't matter. I needed to be direct, I needed to be focused, and I needed to be to the point in that situation. And it helped both of us to be able to walk away from that conversation feeling heard and understood. And for me in that situation, that was a pretty good outcome. So does coming up with 3 words really make an impact on these conversations? Well, it depends on what you choose to do with these words. For me, I wrote them on a post-it note on my computer so that they were there when I was preparing for my conversation. It allowed me to keep these concepts and these qualities at the forefront of my mind. I also brought them back into my mind as I took 3 deep breaths as I walked into the room. And I had them across the header and the footer of my notes page that I took into the conversation to ensure that I kept on track and focused on who I needed to be throughout that conversation. So who do you need to be to lead your tough conversations with confidence and to set yourself up for success so you can let go of that second guessing yourself feeling that you used to take away from these conversations in the past? Why don't you share your 3 strengths below in the comments and let us know how these qualities supported you through your tough conversations. And if this video has resonated with you, then join my online community where we dig deeper into the challenges facing professional women to help you strengthen your self-confidence, realign your energy, and find clarity to make better decisions at work, accelerate your leadership, and step back in charge of your work and life. So sign up in the link here.